So, why did we stop playing Void Soul Demon Hunter? Question sounds a little bit silly at first off the top. We stopped playing it because the deck was actually nerfed, but the only card that was nerfed was just the Vicious Void Scale, and the only nerf was that the battle cry was removed from this. It used to have a battle cry, get a Void Soul, and it was actually enough to move the deck into unplayable territory, at least so everybody assumed. But interestingly enough, Void Soul Demon Hunter has been seeing just a little bit of traction here recently. I saw earlier today that a competitive player going by Gamer RVG, also you can catch him on Twitch, was playing Void Soul Demon Hunter and was actually playing in the top 5 on the ladder, winning games, doing very, very well. And it got me thinking, is this something that the average person like yours truly can replicate? Or is it just an individual who is highly skilled and also combined with a little bit of high rolling? So, you know me, I don't want to take anybody else's word for it. I like to play everything and test it out for myself. I'm going to be doing exactly that right now so that you can take a look at it as well. The deck largely looks the same as it did before. Kayn Sunfury is going to be included in the deck, just allow us to be able to bypass some taunts and be able to push a bunch of damage face. The early game plan is going to be hopefully to get down our cards that are going to be generating Void Souls. So like in the mulligan, we would be wanting to keep Stardust Scythe. I think you also keep Void Soul. You definitely keep Sigil of the Seas. Vicious Void Scale, not as good as it was. If I was offered it, I think I would probably keep it because you can do significantly worse with other cards in your deck. And then as the game progresses, we just want to be able to get those Void Souls out, get larger and larger demons, and hopefully be able to find a way to lethal our opponent. Mulligan, as I mentioned, we'll be keeping Sigil of the Seas, we'll be keeping Void Soul, we will also keep Grim Harvest, and the Stardust Scythe weapon, and depending on whether or not we're keeping anything else, we might actually just be keeping the Vicious Void Scale as well. Looks like we're going to be up against Hunter here, and I'm considering keeping the full hand. Typically you would not keep Void Blast, and Vicious Void Scale would be something that you don't necessarily want to keep, but I'm thinking like on turn 1, play both Sigil of Seas. Turn 2, I'll be able to remove a minion. Turn 3, get up a taunt. We'll be able to start to gather some Void Souls and hopefully do some things. I'm going to try keeping this entire hand. I think Hunter is probably going to end up being one of the worst matchups for this deck. And I will say too that I've been especially unlucky in Hearthstone today. So I would offer that if I lose every single game in this video, it doesn't necessarily mean that the deck is that bad. It might mean that I'm bad, or maybe it just means that I'm experiencing a little bit of variance. And actually, maybe a lot of variance. We'll see how things go. Unfortunately, I cannot target this with a Void Blast because it's elusive. I may just go ahead and target the 1/1. It might prevent my opponent from being able to double trade minions into one of my 3/3 taunts, and it's just going to put a Void Soul in hand. Basically, I need to ramp Void Souls as quickly as possible, and I need to limit damage coming into my face as quickly as possible. So the positive things going this game is that our opponent has not equipped a shovel just yet. I could just hero power this. Hive map and hero power into this. Would allow me to save the Void Soul to remove something a little bit bigger. I think I kind of like that, so I'm going to start with the Hive map here. And I don't know that this particular Hunter deck, the Fumigate, gets a lot of mileage. The Chaos Strike draws a card though, so I do think I like that. So I'm just going to make the play like this. Next turn we're going to get down the Vicious Void Scale, and then the following turn probably Void Blast, just to be able to move Horn of Feasting to the Outcast position. Keeping in mind that outcasting this is not as good against Hunter as maybe other classes, simply because Hunter has so many ways to be able to remove the 1 health minions. We know that they are going to be unfortunate. Created by Raptor Nurse. Who could have ever guessed that? But you think about like Sylvanas will clear the 2/1s very easily, as well as Sylvanas Triumph times 2 will be able to clear very easily. Picking up the weapon is actually really nice here, and I just want to trade for the minion. I'm not in a position where I want to push damage into my opponent's face. Just want to trade for stuff on the board. Next turn, I'm going to call an audible on the game plan that I just covered. And I'm going to be going for... That's actually a decent outcome for us. I'm going to be equipping the weapon and start to gather Void Souls as quickly as possible here. And then the following turn, we're going to be playing as many Void Souls as we can. We should be able to play at least 3. And that's an interesting choice. Just going to get the weapon. I think I'm going to actually just take the one like this and send this guy face. I'm expecting this likely to die, but between another weapon swing and a Void Blast, I should be able to play at least 3 Void Souls here. I think the opponent just emoted sorry. I kind of missed it, I wasn't paying attention, but I'm going to give them the well played if they did use the sorry emote. That's a very dangerous minion to have on the board. I'm definitely going to have to remove it. It's probably just going to be attacking and using a Void Blast, and unfortunately... Oh, they're emoting sorry. I don't think they're actually sorry here, though. What do they have? Can I get away with leaving this on the board and removing this? How bad is it? I'm going to take my chances here. This might actually be a very, very bad play. But I can guarantee to remove it next turn. And then this is just going to be Void Soul after Void Soul play. You managed to hit 1 taunt. I actually hit 2 taunts here, so that's pretty good so far. Next turn I'll be able to get down possibly even 3 additional Void Souls. And that starts to feel pretty good. It'll be 4, 5, and 6. I think 7 is probably the one that I'm really interested in. Specifically because I could hit a Mythical Terror, top off my health, and be in really good shape. Confront the Tol'vir here. It could be bad if they hit some type of 1-cost card. And I guess they do get a nice wide board, which is unfortunate. They do get the free hero power, which is also unfortunate. I'm going to end up having to take more damage than I would like, for sure. It might actually just be better to go for the Horn of Feasting. Let's see, if I go Horn of Feasting, kill this. Gonna have to. Don't necessarily like it. But it is the play that I'm going to be making. So I'll do this. Sure, I get that off the board. And I'm just going to play 2 additional Void Souls here. So I do hit the 5-3 that can give me some additional taunts. I can even kill it myself if I need to with a Void Blast. It's just not guaranteed that it's going to be vicious Void Scales, but I probably don't mind as long as I get some type of a Death Rattle minion that has a taunt on it. Would prefer definitely to be able to get additional Void Souls, though. Still 1 Void Soul short from being able to get a 7-cost minion. Hopefully there's not second Sylvanas Triumph here. This is already bad enough as it is with so much damage going face. Just so close to dying. It's a really, really bad matchup. So unfortunate. I don't even see that many hunters. Oh, and it's another one at ease. I don't even see that many hunters anymore, but you know, it's kind of how it is as soon as you switch things up and try to play something different. That's actually good for me. This, not as good as I would have hoped. Grim Harvest. I probably need to start with the Illidari studies. If I take this... Removing here? Like, I probably Void Blasting. This would only be 3, and it allows me to... Yeah, I'm going to take the Horn of Feasting here. I need to remove, like, this guy. I'm going to remove this guy. Definitely want to remove you. Be able to Horn. Get there. Yes, there as well as there. Void Blast coming in on this guy. And I'm just going to go ahead and play this Void Soul for the 6. Then I'm going face here. There was no guarantee that I was going to roll this. So I'm not super sad that I took the trades in the way that I did, even though the 2 AoE would have cleared most of the board. I think that's perfectly fine. I'm at 9. Both Confront the Tolvirs are gone. That is AoE that I do not like to see. So much damage to the board as well as my face. Also another Keldore Fletcher coming down. Guaranteed our opponent is going to be able to get this to 0 to be able to click that button. And I'm nowhere close to being able to kill him. I really need to hit another Void Soul Generator and get the Mythical Terror roll off of that next Void Soul. Otherwise, I'm just kind of cooked. If I can heal for 12 off of this board, it's going to be really, really good. And if I can't, it's probably just going to be game-losing. Maybe Axe of Cenarius with a Chaos Strike would be good enough to be able to survive an additional turn. But it feels like I'm just not making it. And could even just be dead to like direct damage from a mage spell here. I do have some card draw options. Infestation, not going to get there. Going to go for the Chaos Strike. I do hit a Void Soul, so I need to check and see exactly what this is. There's only 4 options. I really need the Mythical Terror. And I do hit the Mythical Terror, so that clears the board and heals me for 9. And it's actually going to heal me for even more. Oh yeah, this is extremely good. So I'm going to get a massive amount of healing, and it actually might just be enough to win the game here. Simply because I'm going to heal for 12 off of this. I'm going to draw an additional card. This guy still lives. Sitting at a comfortable 24 now. Opponent at 12. I've got a little bit more healing next turn. I've got damage. So I think I'm in a significantly better position now. Basically a game-winning position. Not going to say that it's totally over. But weak-willed opponents will sometimes concede from this position. Looks like Skeleton Key is the play. They're going to be looking for a mage spell. Hopefully they take 5 damage. Reroll, take 5. Reroll, take an additional 5. Looks like they like what they discovered. Maybe they didn't like what they discovered, so... This was definitely just a game-winning play here, being able to draw into an additional Void Soul, being able to hit that Terror and all of the healing that we did on that last turn here. So you can see Hunter, a lot of people complain about playing against Hunters, and we were actually able to handle them with a nerfed version of Void Soul Demon Hunter. Why did we stop playing this deck? Looks like I'm going to be against Rogue. I'm going to keep one Void Scale, I'm going to toss the other one. If I was on the coin, I might actually keep both and go turn 2, turn 3, but since we're on the play, I would rather have something to do on turn 2, guaranteed. And I was actually able to just find something here with the Grim Harvest. If you're enjoying the video, enjoying the commentary, or anything about this, finding some helpful tips, please like the video. Appreciate that very much. The good news is we know exactly what our opponent is going to be doing. They're going to be playing 2-cost cards, and then they're going to be playing Jade Guardians. Go ahead and get down this. Don't mind this minion at all. I really like hitting the 5/5 when it comes out on turn 2. A little bit awkward here. I really don't like allowing my opponent to draw off of this, but I just don't have any way to be able to kill it. I'm going to make my play, but they'll be able to take a trade and draw a card. That's very good for them, very bad for us. We do get a Void Soul, though, so it's not all bad. And next turn, I mean, I could consider going for the Axe of Cenarius play here, but I think it might be better to go for the Wyvern Slumber for 2 additional minions, and then just go ahead and play a Void Soul and start counting up the demons. And actually, I think a Sigil is going to be better, so 2 Dread Seeds and a Sigil. I get another 5/5, the 3/3 will hatch next turn. So that is okay. Likely around turn 6 is when our opponent is going to be able to play the Jade Guardians, which is largely just bad news when that starts to happen. Hopefully they're slow or they don't draw the Jade Guardians, but I want to save my Illidari studies for the turn when those big minions come down so that maybe I can find a way to be able to address those minions. Also a little bit of a board from our opponent, and they may have direct damage to be able to remove our Lifesteal minion with like Rite of Twilight. Press the advantage. I guess I'll start like this. I hit Broxigar's Last Stand. So I could swing in here, draw 2. Is drawing 2 good enough? Maybe it is. I do damage my own board, though, which I don't necessarily like. I think I'm actually just going to get some Void Souls down on the board. Hopefully we get larger size minions. That's not large. The 2/4 taunt. We get a 5/3. So I'm just going to swing in like that, and I will end up floating 1 mana this turn, unfortunately. At turn 5, opponent can play... I guess they're not getting down Jade Guardians now. They can play like 2 2-cost cards and clicky clicky. So turn 6, likely going to be... Oh, is it a Fan of Knives? It is a Fan of Knives. That allows them to clear a lot. We are going to end up healing off of the Serpent Dreadsteed, though. Echisaurus comes down. That's actually a really good pickup for him, too. That's a big body, considering they paid 0 mana for it. We do, however, heal back to full, and I can remove this. And I'm actually just going to go Horn of Feasting and draw my entire deck here. I'm going bump, bump, bump. These guys are going face, and then I am going to draw my entire deck. Unfortunately, no playables, as I am out of mana. And also, unfortunately, both copies of Stardust Scythe are in the bottom 13. We're going to see 1 8-cost minion come down. The good news here is, this is a good defensive minion for them, but it is not going to be killing us because it's going to be a 1/12 on their turn. And when the time comes, I can also bypass it, so I am going to just Void Blast. Go ahead and play my next Void Soul, and then I'm going to get down this next Sigil. So extremely unfortunate. Both of my sides are bottom 12 here. You really kind of need to equip these on like turn 4 and start swinging to be able to generate Void Souls. And that is a significantly better 8-cost minion. We're still really healthy here, but we're nowhere close to winning the game or killing our opponent. I will be able to remove this with the second copy of Void Blast, so that's good news. And unless there's like a prep Jade Guardians, it looks like our opponent is not playing additional 8 drops this turn, so that's also going to be good. I really don't like having this in hand, but I also don't think I necessarily want to trade it. Maybe I do. I can't even attack this anyway, even if I had a Stardust Scythe. Let's see what I get here. Not the greatest. So I think I just need to continue to draw cards. Hive Map. I just want to continue drawing cards. Probably actually should have shot that face. No way I'm attacking with this. I do pick up another Vicious Void Scale. That's going to be an additional Void Soul, but when you don't draw the weapons, it's just way too slow. This game would have been very winnable, I think, if I had a Scythe on like turn 4, turn 5. By now I would have been able to attack and have the souls. Maybe not, considering this was in the way. And our opponent, I'm assuming they're just going to jam the Garona here, since they have 4 mana left. They did see us draw a card though, but I probably have to actually trade the King Lane. And, oh geez, Clocksworth. Really need to get bad minions off of this. We'll see how greedy they're going to be. They decide to stop there, which is pretty good. Oh yeah, this is just a loss. I think I'm just totally cooked. If I had gotten just one scythe earlier in the game, I could have been competitive, because I would have had like an up to 8 cost minions now. But I just don't have it, and I don't think I have lethal either. I have 3, 6, 9, 10. Opponent's sitting at 20, and they're going to heal to 21 when this guy attacks. So I don't think I'm going to be getting there. There's literally nothing that allows me to clear the board enough to be able to win this game. Oh, and this doesn't even pop this turn. There's a Void Soul. I think I'm just going to concede. There's no reason to hang around in this game. We've lost. Unfortunately, the game was very winnable, I think, based on what our opponent did. We just didn't have the resources that we needed because we were really lacking the weapon. Against Shaman this game, I guess I'm going to keep these. Maybe I should be tossing the Void Scale. It's just hard to throw this away, and especially when you're curving like 2 into 3. But you really need to get the weapon and get it down on turn 4, turn 5 at the latest. Otherwise, I think you just don't get enough Void Souls to be able to win with the deck. And that's where the Battle Cry being removed from the Vicious Void Scale comes into play so much. Because you're getting less Void Souls. Makes it take longer to get to the big demons. And unfortunately we're against Z Shaman, so I think this is also just going to be a bad matchup for the deck. But I felt like that about Hunter, and we were able to pull out a win, so I want to try to keep my mind right, thinking clearly. This ain't good, though. Plagiogoon on turn 1, very powerful. Much better than what I am going to be doing. Do I actually just need to Infestation here? Like, it's not even good. It's really not that good, but I think it's probably the only way that I'm going to be able to win. I have to try to stabilize a little bit. A lot of times the play here is Skywall Sentinel. And that's a Battle Cry minion, so it's buffed to a 5/5. That's insane. And then I top deck this when I don't have the mana to play it. Absolutely insane. So I have to make the play like this. And I think I just have to try to set up the best possible play that I can here. We are able to clear most of the board, only a 2/3 left. The 2 most pertinent minions are gone. And next turn, maybe I can just go ahead and get down the Vicious Void Scale. Could, like, double draw from the Grim Harvest. They were able to line this up really well, too, with a Skywall Sentinel. I might actually just need to throw down the Horn of Feasting here. Even though the minions die, it lets me clear these. I don't know. It feels like my line isn't necessarily great here. I mean, this saves me a lot of damage. I'm stalling the game, but my opponent is progressing the game. I'm assuming they take the 3-cost taunt. They do. So a little bit of a slower turn from them. This might be my opportunity to get down like a Void Scale and some card draw. Pain is not a good pickup. And you can see here, it's turn 5, and I'm going to be playing my first 2 Void Souls on turn 6. That's not really the winning recipe for this particular deck, so we're being overpowered by our opponent on the board. Basically, this game is a loss. I think you always stay in the game. You don't want to concede too early, but it's hard to see a legitimate path to victory. I really don't know what would have to happen for us to be able to win this game. And once again, it's because the Stardust side is just hiding from us. And that may be my fault in the mulligan. Maybe I actually should not be keeping this. But we're basically just almost dead on board here. With some potential Herald things coming down as well. So I'm going to make the play like this. We do hit the 2-4 taunt. I mean, they can trade here, push a little bit of damage face. But we don't even have any more Void Souls to be able to capitalize on what our deck is supposed to be doing. And so I think we're still just expecting to lose here. Opponent has 8 cards in hand. We have to just be losing. Very unfortunate. Really needed the weapon. Weapon could have helped, like if we equipped it on turn 4 to be able to clear up some of the board. Like turn after turn, we could attack some of the smaller minions. Try to remove some of the board in the event of like a Herald play and the Elemental giving additional attack. And unfortunately just not really getting that option this particular game. Even this play, not super optimal from our opponent, but it's just fine. They're going to be able to push through this. Get an additional minion on the board. And we are very quickly... Now see, this was a little bit silly. I don't know why they're taking trades. And I gotta be honest, that's the kind of stuff that drives me crazy because it feels like we have not drawn well. Our opponent has had plays like every single turn. And then they take silly trades that they don't need to take. And we have no way to punish them for it. Going to try just a little bit. Nothing off the Illidari studies I think is going to save us. Like none of this stuff is playable. Or at least very little of it. Can't even afford to attack. I can't take that 5 damage with only 14 health. Basically would be setting up lethal for my opponent. And we're basically just waiting to die here. We're at 14, they have 8. They have a random nature spell here. It could actually be just enough to kill us. And I think that does kill us. For all intents and purposes, anyway. We do have potentially one more out with the Hive map. But notice here that if our opponent had not taken those egregious trades that I was pointing out, they actually would have won. So they made bad trades, and now they feel like they're winning the game, and they emote me. I wish I could emote them and let them know that they are not trading properly, or they are not ignoring trades properly. Just doesn't do anything. And we are going to concede and get out of this game, so a bit unfortunate there. The last couple of games we just didn't draw the weapons. We didn't have enough Void Souls. You can see here, I hovered it just before the defeat screen popped up. And there are actually 16 cards left in the deck, both weapons in the bottom 16. I think last game they were both bottom 13, and I'm not sure I even drew one that game either. So if you don't get your hands on the weapon, it makes it extremely hard to win with this deck now, simply because you don't have enough Void Souls, and then the deck doesn't do what it's intended to do here. So all that being said, there are people out there that are having a lot of success with this particular deck, and in light of nerfs coming very soon, according to the developers, there is a chance, and probably a halfway decent chance, that the nerfs that they implement cause Void Soul Demon Hunter to go back to the top of the meta. So I'm going to say that that is a soft prediction from yours truly. We'll see what happens. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.